I am recording now.
Okay, are we ready, attorney?
I think so. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, my video connection went away. So as long as you can hear me, though. Director Falls is actually going to be running the civic clerk portion of the meeting today. So you have 4 staff members running the meeting.
Yeah.
But obviously, it will still be here advising and giving recommendations for staff.
So
So Joe, if
okay.
you're ready to start the meeting time, we can move forward.
Ready.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Welcome to Protection and Policy for August 9th, 2021, 5:30 p.m. We will have a roll call. Alder Stoyer, I am here. Alder Lefebvre.
Here.
Alder Vanderleest.
Here.
And Alder Stevens.
Here.
All present and accounted for. I'll just wait for you, Joe.
We're all set.
Okay. All right, next will be approval of the minutes. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Vanderleest, seconded by Stevens. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That passes unanimously. Waiting for you, Joe. We're ready to go. Mr. Falls? You're muted, Joe.
Yeah, we're ready. Yep,
Okay.
we're good.
All right, we'll get you. Number 1, regular business, consideration with possible action on a change of agent for Walgreens Company at 1165 West Mason. Staff.
Yes, staff recommendation is we don't have any objections.
Okay, police.
Please concur.
Okay, do we have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Lefebvre, seconded by Stevens. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Excuse me, one
Aye.
second. Hold on here. Did I miss the approval of the agenda and the approval of the minutes?
I didn't think we did the minutes.
We didn't do the minutes.
Did we do the, excuse me, did I skip the agenda?
No,
No, we
No, no.
did
skipped
the
the
agenda.
minutes.
We didn't do the minutes.
Oh, I thought we did approval of the minutes.
Yeah, I thought I moved.
Oh, the agenda.
We didn't do, so we didn't do the
No,
agenda.
no.
We did the
No,
minutes.
I approved the minutes.
Yeah, so Joe, that's my fault. Let's go back to the approval of the agenda. I'm almost sure we did the minutes. My fault.
That's all right.
I'm doing it left-handed if you notice.
We also did the agenda. Craig, Alder Stevens moved and
Oh,
Alder
Vanderleest
Vanderleest
did it.
seconded. Remember?
I thought we were doing okay here. So. Are we ready?
Mhm.
Just let me know when you're ready, Joe.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Okay, so number 1 has been voted on and gone. So number 2, consideration with possible action on a change of agent for Walgreens Inc. at 2204 University Avenue. Staff.
Yes, law department has no objections on this item as well.
Okay, and police.
Please concur.
Entertain okay, go ahead. Who had the motion? Motion by Vanderleest to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Lefebvre. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that passes unanimously.
And we're good.
All right. Number 3, consideration with possible action on a change of agent at Ultimate Mart LLC at 1819 Main Street. Staff.
Yes, law department has no objections.
And police.
Please concur.
I would
Motion to
entertain a
approve.
motion by Stevens. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Vanderleest. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, that passes unanimously.
And sorry, what item was that for?
Number 3.
Okay,
All three motions, 1, 2, and 3, all passed unanimously.
sounds good. Thank you. Now we're all set for 4.
Number 4, consideration with possible action on a request by the IT department to discontinue use of Green Bay Public Television Channel 4 in lieu of repairing malfunctioning equipment previously discussed at the July 26th Protection and Policy meeting and referred back to committee at the August 3rd, 2021 Common Council meeting. I will just make one quick comment. I spoke with Director Ronick this afternoon. We've talked about this at previous meetings. And we can have the discussion again. I think the thought was for folks, some of the folks on council and committee members, was that we wanted transparency to make sure every Green Bay had access to our meetings. Especially, we don't always have all the committee meetings on there, but our council meetings. And a lot of times those meetings are after the fact. You know, we have the meeting, they're not live streamed. So I feel very confident that Director Ronick is doing and his group, his department is doing a great job trying to move forward. I think for me, I feel confident in the sense that most folks that have television would have Spectrum, and it's on Spectrum. So if they don't have Spectrum, then there might be a little bit of an issue. But you know, he mentioned too that he cannot get a hold of data from Spectrum on this. We were looking for that, and he said unequivocally that he cannot get that. So I will defer. I'll ask the committee if you have any other comments on that, and then Director Ronick, I'd like you to chime in as well. Okay, Alder LaFave.
I think what we should find out who has AT&T and Dish. If we could contact them, they would tell us. I mean, we should be able to find out how many people they service in the area, because there's enough people who have Dish and who have AT&T too. So they wouldn't be able to get it, right? It's just on Spectrum. So
Let me ask Director Ronick on that. I mean, I know that, Mike, you said you had issues with, I mean, the fact with Spectrum, it's hard for you to get data from them. Do you feel the same thing would happen? I don't know if you've checked that, but what Alder LaFave brought up, is that something that you think would be in the same vein that way?
Yeah, I think I would. Is there feedback? Okay.
No, I can hear you.
Okay. I don't think I'd be any more successful with 2 companies we don't have a previous relationship with either.
Yeah, but we do know that there's enough people probably that don't have Spectrum in our area. You know, and the county does not. We don't have the county. Their meetings are not on anything. We're not even broadcast because they were because of closed captioning. So they've been having problems with that. But, and then also our council meeting, they're not right away. I mean, they're not even the next day. They're what, 3-4 days later?
Right, or a week
So,
sometimes.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
know
not,
it
yeah.
is probably more convenient for anybody, even, you know, to get it on channel, turn on your TV and have it, but you have to have Spectrum in order to get it. And I do know there are people who do not have Spectrum
right.
in our area. So
One of the other points too that was brought up, and Alder Gerlach brought it up last week too, is that I haven't had one call, and we could ask some of the other alders if they've had any calls from their constituents. Director Ronick said he hasn't had, I think maybe one or none. So it you know, I think that it's been in the newspaper. I mean, it's been out there, so it's not like this is a quiet issue. So I think there's been plenty of time over the last number of weeks for people to chime in on that. So, committee, any other committee members? Are you Alder Stevens or Alder Vanderleest?
I'd like to make one comment.
Okay.
It seems that, you know, it's just servicing the people that have Spectrum. And we're not trying to hide anything. I don't think the city's trying to hide anything. I think there are other avenues of where they can view the meetings. And, you know, I think we've got to kind of take our lead from our director there as far as, you know, if it's feasible. He says it's going to cost us $10,000 or more. to keep it going just with Spectrum. It's not like we're trying to do anybody a disservice. I don't feel that. I feel that, it's one of those things where it's going to need money to keep it going if we're just going to service it for Spectrum. We're not going to be able to reach all the people, and, people that are really interested, I think they'll try to, find the other avenues to get on and, watch our meetings. That's my thoughts on it. So, I'm kind of taking the lead from our director, from Mr. Ronick, and
Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now. Thank you.
Okay. Alder Stevens, did you have something? And then Alder LaFave?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So I thank Mike for everything he has done for us. Greatly appreciate it. I do think there's possibly
Craig?
avenues.
Craig, I can't hear you. Can you speak up a little bit? Or
Can you hear me now?
yes. Whoa. Right, go ahead.
No, I want to thank Mike for everything he has done for us on this. After giving additional thought, I do think that we might be on a losing battle regarding Spectrum. But if we want to be transparency, I think we could possibly reach out to our local news channels and see if they have substations that they may be willing to pick up our common council. And that would actually take care of Spectrum, Dish, AT&T, and even just regular antenna TV, if one of the stations would be willing to broadcast for us. And that's something we could look at. I think Mike probably could reach out to them to see if any of our local news channels would be willing to pick up local government. That's my thought on it. So
Well, that sounds interesting. I don't know, Alder or Director Ronick, is that something that is possible? I think, you got to remember too that, this is Green Bay, and, the viewing area for Channel 5 is Northeast Wisconsin and the Upper Peninsula. It's a big area. So, there's a lot of cities in that area. So, but I like your thought process. So is there anything on that, Director Ronick, that you could answer to? Your thoughts on what Alder Stevens just brought up?
All I can do is ask.
Mm-hmm.
We could send them a digital file, relatively easy over the internet.
Well,
And if they
decision
want- I
tonight,
don't know
though.
how they do it,
Yeah.
but
Well, is that something, Alder Stevens, that you'd want to put a communication after the fact? Because we're not going to be talking, technically we're not talking about that tonight, but I think it's a possibility for the future, but we're just considering, what's on the agenda tonight.
well, sure, we could we request that? Could we request that this evening for staff to work on that? And then we vote on the remainder of that?
Alder Dorf, what do you think on that? I mean, it's I don't know. Yeah, well, we have council next week. So I guess what I would suggest is if we make a motion tonight, that if you wanted to put that in as a additional item that Director Ronick could check on and bring that forward at council, that we just vote then. Is that something that you would be, the committee could agree to?
I will.
Okay.
So my
Go ahead.
no, I don't mind. I can, it's just a question I have to ask.
It's just-
Talk to it first, but
Right, and if that would help us, I think. That would just give us a little more transparency on that, and they might want to do it. They might want to do it.
Yeah, I would think that we can make a motion. Alder Stevens wants to make the motion. I would second that we direct staff to look into the possibility of any of the 4 local channels, if they would be willing to broadcast our
due to
Would
the
that be
fact
live?
that we will be canceling.
Right. Will that be live, or would you say after the fact? Alder Stevens, are you looking for live streaming?
I think it would probably be after the fact, but we would have to talk with the local channels first. So.
Because there is live streaming, and you're right, as far as, having live, you couldn't have it on with the programming that TV stations have. That would be impossible.
But I'm thinking they have secondaries. What's that, channel
Yeah.
2.2?
Yeah, that's
who operates. I don't recall who operates that.
Yeah.
Well, Alder Dorf.
Alderdorf.
I just
Yeah.
have
Yeah, what's
one
next?
thing to say. A person spoke with me not a constituent because this person does not live in Green Bay, but I remember that Director Haranik had said maybe he was going to see if one of the universities or technical colleges wanted to take over Channel 4. And so I told this person that might be a possibility, but I didn't think that maybe we would be able to keep it because then we can't live stream because of the closed captioning rules. So I wondered if Director Haranik is still pursuing that.
Director?
I haven't really actively pursued it. It was just a suggestion. Again, I don't have all the equipment to give to these individuals. They would have to make some investment. And the thing which will cost the most is having a fiber connection to the facility, straight from Charter Communications or Spectrum. We had that existing connection because they used to be our internet service provider when we started our station. So we really didn't pay for that connection. We just paid for our programming equipment. So that's a huge expense, and they might have that connection already, but that would have to be like found out also.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just was asking, and I'm not like dedicated to that, so
Sure.
it's fine.
Alder LaFave?
So could we amend, I don't know if we ever voted on the motion, but could we amend the motion that Director Ronick would look at any possibility of us not live streaming, but having the council meetings on a TV channel somewhere?
Well,
or
yeah, we'd have to.
how do you want to
I
word
don't
it?
know,
Because I
that's-
want them to
yeah,
also,
Wait,
well,
I want 'em to- wait, I also
Alder
want them to
Stevens?
look at at NWTC or UWGB. So how would we word that?
I'm gonna leave it to Alder Stevens.
You got
Alder-
time.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
Chair,
Hold on,
Chair.
hold on. Alder Vanderleest, one comment, then I want Alder Stevens. Go ahead.
Mark, why don't we hold this for 60 days and then we can get more information? I think we're trying to rush it through. I think if we held it for 60 days, our
Mhm.
director would have
That
more
long.
time to get all the information. He could, talk to some of the other, like the public stations, and he could talk to the universities and give them a little more time. We're trying to slam it through. If there's no time frame, I'd say let's hold it for 60 days and bring it back at that time, and it'll be to have all the information.
All right, well, Director Ronick, do you feel, I'll be, just be honest with us on this. I think you've been doing a very good job moving forward with, with your thought process on all of this. By holding it again for the third time, it seems, will that cause you much more headache in the sense that you got to, contact all these folks? You mentioned about that fiber optic already to the universities and stuff. This is a $10,000 investment for us. We have, I just want to look at this particular item. I think we've really talked about it quite a bit already. Do you have any comments on that, Director? As far as, if we bring a motion forward, and I'm going to leave it to Alder Stevens. He brought it up. I'd like him to make the motion as sees fit, and then if there's a little caveat on the end of that you could check into. I personally would prefer to see it go toward council and then we just vote. That's my take, but Alder Vanderleest, I appreciate it. That's just my feeling. We can vote accordingly. Alder Stevens, do you want to make your motion?
well, I had a question first.
Yeah,
Mark, you might be able to answer it, even Alderdorf may be able to answer it. So are we better off doing what Alder LaFave said, or are we better off holding this for 30 days for Mike to get the final answers before we bring it to Common Council?
I think part of us wants to just take care of it now, but I like the fact that
But what's
instead of
taking
60
care of-
days,
what-
60,
what-
30, maybe 30 days. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
But our motion that we were talking about gave two things to Common Council. If we held it for 30 days, we would be coming back with one final decision. Because Mike would be able to let us know about if additional
Right.
local channels want to pick it up or not.
But Mike, would you be able to have that information before council? If you just have to make a few phone calls? the reason I ask is that if it's slam dunk, here's what it is, that we could vote on it right away at council. Or does the committee feel stronger that we delay it for maybe 30 days, get that answer, and then go to council? I'm good either way.
Chair, Common Council's next week, meaning we're doing committee work on the floor
Yeah.
again.
Right, and that doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen occasionally. I would
So we're
prefer.
trying to get away from that.
Yeah, I know we are.
It's
Well-
really easy for me to ask the question to
Yeah,
several agencies, but it's going to be hard for them to give me an answer because they're making a commitment to do something that it's probably not a one-person call.
Right.
You know, they could take 6 months making that decision.
right.
And they're going to probably think about the same thing. Oh boy, this equipment's going to break. It's old technology. The way we're viewing it, they're just going to raise the same questions that we're raising right now. I think, they would, because why are you getting rid of this? So,
Well, it makes
I'm
sense.
doing
That makes sense.
Oh.
This is an interesting dilemma. Alder LaFave, you got something?
Yeah, as my cat put his tail up, but no, I do have a question for the director. You said, well, it's going to be 10,000 for the equipment. Can we get the equipment? And you said down the road, there's other things that might go wrong. Are we we could spend 10,000 for the one part, and then down the road, we have more things go wrong. And because the equipment's so old, are we going to have problems even getting the equipment?
Oh, I think you can always get a programming device, an encoder. Yeah, I think we could always get the required equipment. TV stations aren't going out of business. So yeah, I do believe that. But another argument is like, I'm the IT department. We're really not a television station.
Mm.
I really would like to take back the IT resources I spend on this TV station. That's more of it for me than $10,000 is a lot of money, but the labor and responsibility of it is a lot more.
That makes sense. Mhm.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
and you did say that it's on YouTube.
Yeah, everything. It's basically in 2-3 different locations. You're going to find all the meetings on YouTube, all the meetings in Civic Clerk, which is an excellent product that we invested in. And then you're going to find snippets of all meetings or some meetings on Facebook, because people just cut them out of the little video, the larger videos we make, and they get up on different Facebook sites and things like that.
Yeah.
We have better coverage now than we've ever had.
Yeah.
So you got to look at it like that. I mean, is it perfect? Not totally, but we do have quite a bit of full coverage. So, anyway, Alder Stevens, do you have enough to move forward on something like this? What's your thought?
So what is the thought process? We're going to stop channel Spectrum and then request Mike to look at additional possible avenues with local channels or stations, I mean?
Yeah, I would say that would be good. And let's say we vote on this tonight, we can always, if it comes down to the fact that one of the TV stations, we'll just deal with it at that time.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so that's a motion then?
Yeah.
Alder Stevens, that's a motion
Yes,
then?
that'll
I'll
be
second
my
it.
motion will be that we will cancel Spectrum, but IT will look into possibly airing local government with our local news stations.
Okay.
And once
second.
Mike has his information, he'll get back to us.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll
Mike,
second that.
Okay.
Oh,
Doug?
wait,
I'll
wait.
go-
I'll get back to you even if they don't give me an answer,
Yeah,
because
That's
that
fine.
might happen also.
okay. And it might be just a moot point, but I think it's a good alternative. And I know all the vandalists, you'd like to wait 60 days, but regardless what happens at this vote, it can always be revisited down the road if the local stations might want to do something, I'm thinking.
Mhm.
So I feel good with that. So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Otherwise, I'd entertain, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That passes unanimously. Thanks, Director Ronick, for all your input.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You could be on television, really. You said you don't want to, but I think you could.
I think it'll be a process for Mike, he'll send out a letter and we just have to wait for responses, so.
We'll wait for that. But anyway, thanks for all your input, everybody.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Director Falls, when you're ready.
Yep, we're all set.
Number 5, consideration with possible action on a request by Tux 2 Inc. Blue Collar to temporarily extend their licensed premises to the outside parking lot on October 2nd for the grand opening. Staff
Yes, law department has no objections.
and police.
The police concur.
Okay, where is that located? Where is that located? I just wanted to
Yeah.
ask.
That's on South Broadway. It's
Oh.
the old Packer City Lounge, I believe.
Okay, all right, okay. All right, Alder LaFave, you had a question?
No,
Oh,
you asked it.
All right, okay, I would entertain a motion then.
Motion to approve.
Motion by
Second.
Stevens, seconded by LaFave. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That passes unanimous.
Mark, do you want to mention the date that the city council is going to be meeting that?
Oh, yeah, very good point. Our city council meeting will be August 17th, next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow. August 17th at 6 p.m. These are all, any of this will be finalized in a vote at council. This is all advisory at this time, but thank you for that. So, Alder Director Falls, are we ready?
Yes, we are.
Okay, my favorite part of the report coming up, the liquor violation report for 2021. It's all yours, Lieutenant Mahoney.
Good news, we have no violations. Just want to advise the committee that we are continuing to monitor the Main Street corridor in case any of your constituents are calling. We're working with the bar owners along Main Street to deal with various issues we're having.
Okay. We appreciate that. Now, committee, do you have any questions? Otherwise, I would entertain a motion.
Motion to receive and place on file.
Okay, Alder Vanderleest, do we have a second?
Second.
Alder Stevens, seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, that passes unanimously. Last but not least, adjournment. And Alder Stevens, you said a half hour, we're at 28 minutes.
Hey, pretty good. I'll move to adjourn.
Okay, by LaFave, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Stevens. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye. We got a minute and a half to go. No.
Aye.
So, all
You
right.
want to drag it out?
No,
No.
unless somebody has a little story, but I think we're good. All right. Thanks for all your help, everybody. It was good.
Yep,
And
nice
we'll,
meeting everyone.
what's
All the
that?
best. Mark, I
All
hope
the
you're
best.
mending up fine there. Looks like you're mending up pretty good.
Yeah, it's something else. I feel like, I don't know what movie that was, The Iron Claw or whatever it is. I don't know.
Bye.
Cutting your lawn, Mark.
Bye.
You're cutting your